We are doing Reiki for self-care today. So this is, let me introduce myself. I am Caroline. I am a Reiki master teacher, and I've been teaching since 2013. Um, we are doing a little bit of Reiki for self-care. So what I'm doing here today is oftentimes when we're doing our Reiki self-treatment, we place our hands on different parts of our body and activate it through Go Reiki Go. But there's lots of ways that we can bring self-care into our lives, right? Sometimes it's going for a walk. Sometimes it is getting a massage or getting a hug. Sometimes it's sharing what's going on in our hearts with another person, right? Sometimes that's a trusted professional, and sometimes that's just a good friend who we know is not going to judge and is a good listener. Sometimes self-care means that we emotionally take a step back. Sometimes self-care means that we let ourselves rest. Sometimes self-care means you fill in the blank. There you go. Exactly. Exactly. So what I am doing in this session here is to allow you the space to connect with yourself. Whatever habits, whatever rituals, whatever routines, sometimes art, sometimes watercolor, sometimes doodling or sketching can let the mind unwind. There you go. So it's so much about the intention of how can I connect with myself? How can I fill up my tank? How can I be 10% more comfortable in my body? How can I be 10% more accepting of myself? There you go. So set the intention, okay? It's not always the action. There you go. Exactly. It can be any intention that you want. It could just be something out of the self-study handbook of wanting to know ourselves more deeply. Why we think the way we think, the way that we take certain actions. Exactly. There you go. Take another big breath in. It could be to restore our depleted ki, our depleted energy sources. There you go. Exactly. And there's so many ways to do that. So my hands, as we're doing Reiki, are just on my table. So many Reiki practitioners will often keep their hands up during sessions. I find that to be a bit onerous for me. I always like to have my body as comfortable as I can when I'm offering Reiki. So that's just why my hands are off screen here. There you go. So my goal, my intention sending this Reiki out is to allow you to connect with your self-care routines. And think of it as just for today. There you go. That's part of the 5 Reiki precepts. It's these kind of ways of good living, right? It grounds everything in just for today. And there's some variation in the 5 Reiki precepts, but it starts just for today. I will not be angry. In my mind, I'm always like, easier said than done. Just for today, I will not worry. Just for today, I will be diligent in my business. Right? I'll sort of work with my heart. I'll be focused on what's in front of me. Right? I'll be diligent in my business. Just for today, I will express my gratitude. Just for today, I will be kind to myself and others. There you go. Really nice job. Take another big breath in and exhale. That's what we're coming. Yeah. If an idea pops into your head about something nice that you can do for yourself or with yourself, that's where you start. Okay. And these 5 Reiki precepts are not, there's no dogma. Okay. It's not, Reiki is not a religion. The 5 Reiki precepts were adopted from the ways of good living that in Japan, during the Meiji Empire, that the emperor offered its citizens, these ways of good living, and that was the 5 Reiki precepts that was adopted into the Reiki practice that we know it today. But they're sort of guidelines for health, right? Because we know that when we spend too much time like in our anger, like it kind of ends up boiling us. When we spend too much time worrying, it's like a leak in our energy, right? It drains us. When we express our gratitude, that's a way that we can fill our cup, that we can be present with the blessings around us. It's a way to refocus on what's working, to literally retraining our brain and our nervous system on what is working, what is here. There you go. When we talk about being diligent in our business, we're talking about, you know how when they say that like there's when athletes are like in the zone, when they're sort of performing at their own level of excellence, it's kind of that's in the same thread of diligence in your business. It's not work hard in the American way of like, I'm putting in the hours, I'm showing up, I'm gonna do this thing until I succeed, do or die. It's not like that. The concept behind diligence, like within the business, is I'm present. There you go. Yeah, I'm present in what I'm putting my energy into. There you go. There you go. Exactly. We're simply moving through these 5 Reiki precepts because that's the energy that is coming through. I don't ever come in with the intention to preach or to like talk about things that don't need to be talked about. I'm just passing the messages along. There you go. Exactly. Exactly. I'm a Reiki teacher. I'm a channel. Yeah. There you go. And the last Reiki precept is, when we express kindness to myself and to others, this is where we're fitting in with the Reiki as self-care. So it can be an actual self-treatment. It can be going and taking a nap, okay? It can be cutting back on caffeine, right? And just sort of letting yourself be tired and present. There you go. Exactly. Take another big breath in. And exhale. It's not enough to say, oh, just don't be angry, right? That was sort of when I was first learning the 5 Reiki precepts. The idea of just for today, do not be angry. I was like, that's not a thing, right? Like, it is a thing. It is a thing. But for me, exploring my own anger and my family patterns of anger, because the Ruddermans, we that runs deep. That runs deep. But for me, when I was exploring that precept of just for today, I will not be angry, it was like, well, where is this coming from? It was allowing the anger to exist, but not to clenching around it, like letting it exist and up and out. It's just an emotion, just like laughter. If you try to hold your laughter in, it will get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It's the same thing with anger. So there was a deep dive of like, what parts of me are feeling angry? What parts of me need to be heard? So there's always room for your own curiosity and your own explorations in however you see it, however it works for you. And as we're exploring the expressing my kindness to myself and others just for today, that's how we're talking about our self-care. Exactly. When that idea pops into your head, that is a potential avenue. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. One of the things that my guides always show me, I have some guides that are more vocal, and some of my other guides will literally show me a book. Like my eye will catch on a book that's sitting in my bookshelf for like 2 seconds longer than normal. And it's like when I'm present and when I'm seeing that thing, sometimes that's how they guide me. So sometimes it's that my eye lingers on something a little bit longer than normal. Yeah. Beautiful. Another big breath in. And I always love to explore all of the stuff in my Reiki and intuition mentorship program. It's a Wednesday afternoon group classes. It's afternoon for East Coast time in the United States. Beautiful. Yeah, exactly. Another big breath in and sigh it out. Yeah, your intuition is your personal navigation system. It's your personal ways of listening to the information that's coming in. That's that's what we're talking about. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Another big breath in. Another one of my intuitive skill sets is the I don't know how I know, I just know. And so in that space, I don't exactly know who, just it landed with someone. So in that space when I'm like, yes, there's just something that says inside of my knowing, inside of my clear knowing, that like something landed. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, and sometimes it's that like energy that's catching in your throat a little bit. Beautiful. Yeah, we're calling in some angelic energy, or rather, it's coming in on its own right now. Yeah, there's about 10% of you watching this video right now who are having a really hard time receiving. And this is a learned behavior, and it's one that I learned too, right? It's the full autonomy or the perception of being fully independent because it's not real. There you go. So take a big breath in. And then I want you to almost imagine that you're letting in the Reiki a little bit deeper. Yeah, just like when you throw like a duvet or a quilt into the washing machine, and it takes an extra second to absorb into the like the depth of the fabric. Yeah, exactly. There you go. We just needed a little bit of, yeah. We're just clearing some of that throat trauma right now. Yeah. We're just going to do a few more minutes together. And maybe receiving Reiki today is part of your self-care. Okay. I've got a ton of videos online, so you can keep watching and keep receiving. There's attunement videos. There's self-treatment where we do Reiki self-treatment together. So I kind of bring us through different hand positions. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Sometimes self-care is like turning off our phone and just reading a book or going outside. There you go. Oh, I love this. Yeah, the intention for this Reiki session is to allow you to be present for what you need. Yeah, I'm here with you. You don't have to do this alone. That was one of my belief systems forever. I thought I had to do everything alone. Telling somebody that I needed help was like foreign. There you go. Another big breath in and exhale. Perfect. Yeah, this kind of feels like a good place to wind down. So I'm just going to start sending Reiki a little bit to your feet and ankles. I don't often like to just end a Reiki session. I like to ground the session down a little bit. Yeah, you might be feeling the energy flowing at the tops of the feet and at the sides of the ankle. Yeah, you might be feeling it. You might not. Another intuitive pathway is is a very like kinesthetic way of experiencing the movement of energy. It's almost just like you feel things go whoosh, or like spreading down or moving out. Some people physically feel an extra pair of hands on them, right? It's a very like kinesthetic experience. And for some people, that's like a little uncomfortable, right? Especially if you're not used to being comfortable in your body, right? When we're experiencing pain or if we're experiencing trauma, right? Sometimes it's really uncomfortable to be in our body. There you go. Yeah, that's where we're going to end it. You got it. And the snapping, people always ask me, what's the snapping? To me, it's almost like putting the lid back on the jar. Sometimes it is a little bit of breaking apart of the energy as well. But in that ending one, it sort of felt like that's complete. Yeah, that was me snapping almost right over where the ankle and the top of the foot meet. That's sort of where I was completing the energy. Beautiful. I'm just going to smooth your energy down. I'm really proud of yourself, proud of you. So if at any point you got a little idea or a little sparkle of something that you might want to do to keep supporting yourself today, go do it. Or you can keep asking the big blue sky, what should I do to really like deeply nourish myself? What can I do to really allow myself to fill up my cup? Whatever question you want to ask. What are 10 things that I could do to support my self-care today and throughout the week? Right? So you can ask any questions you want to the big blue sky, and they might pop right into your head, like that clear knowing, or little things might start cropping up into your awareness. Okay, so, and then it kind of becomes almost like a scavenger hunt, like where you just start looking and listening for clues. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Another big breath in I'm just smoothing your energy down. I always like to leave you guys in a really safe place, like a really nice, comfortable place. So I'm just kind of holding, this hand is holding at your lower back, and I'm just smoothing the energy down from the lower half. There you go. All right. And when I finish up a session, I imagine that I'm scooping the whole energy up into a beautiful ball. I give it a kiss and I blow it away. All right, my loves, I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. And please type into the comments anything you felt or observed. I love learning and hearing what you experience on the other side of this screen. All right, be well.